All right, let's bring her in. Episode number 401. You've seen her as the winner of Big Brother 13. You've also seen her on Celebrity Fear Factor, Amazing Race, Snake in the Grass, Trader Season 1. It is Rachel Reilly Villegas. Rachel, how you doing?
Hey, I'm so good. It's so fun to come and gossip with you, Steve. It's like my favorite time of the year.
I mean, Big Brother is underway, and we were talking off air, and we have to just kind of jump right into this because
Okay.
I'm a new watcher to the show. I started in season 21, so this is only my 6th season watching the show. But in
Yeah.
my 6 seasons in watching the show, I have never seen a more chaotic first week than this. And just kind of talking to other people who are Big Brother fans, who have been longtime fans, they've all said the same thing. Like, they've never seen anything like this in terms of meltdowns, the craziness, 3 nominations, all this stuff. You are obviously a lifelong fan. You're a former winner of this show. Have you seen anything like a first week we've seen here in the Big Brother house?
This week is chaotic. I will tell you that. I think that this week is especially crazy because for no reason, Angela is getting in fights with Matt and calling house meetings and then fighting with Joseph and MJ and just kind of like creating this crazy chaos for no apparent reason. And then like getting Lisa to be upset. And Lisa is like working overtime to secure herself the votes this week, and then she obviously goes and wins the veto. So it's just like, I think that this week they've had so much with the AI and the 4 competitions and then HOH. It's just like, I think it's a lot for them, but then also it's been a lot for us because they've just been extra crazy. People are saying it's like old school Big Brother again. But I do have some notes on Angela. Okay, so
Yes.
this is the tea. So Angela, I thought watching her package and her interviews she's a mom from Utah. She's a super fan. She's going to play the game like Cody Calafiore. Like, we think she's just going to come in and be a mom, right? And like, probably do well, have some strategy. Well, no. So Angela has been on Let's Make a Deal. She was on The Price is Right, and she was on Dr. Phil. So
Dr.
her
Phil.
family,
I saw that clip where like her daughter wasn't listening to her or something like that.
yes.
She had a problem with her daughter. Yeah.
So her daughter allegedly, her daughter stopped talking to her dad at age 14, and she's like 20 something. Then, so they went on Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil put cameras in their house, so they were recorded 24/7 for a week. And apparently Angela was she was kind of like pushing this conversation with her daughter, or she was kind of like, she was okay with it that her daughter wasn't talking to her dad. I can't remember, enabling it. She was enabling the conversation and, or enabling her daughter, I guess, which is very interesting to me because it makes me think that Angela is just there to watch and win TV. And like, I have a clip of Angela telling Lisa that I posted on TikTok, like, I want you to be my best friend, bawling, crying, all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know. Is this honest or is she trying to win an award? And then I have another clip of Angela talking to the cameras saying that her conversation with Matt should win her an award. So I'm just like, she is playing to the cameras. She is trying to get her TV time in. That's the most dangerous kind of player, Steve, because you know why? This person is going to be so unpredictable. It's like, I would not want to play a Big Brother season with anyone like this. Like, that would be my first out, because if they're playing for the camera and they're playing to be iconic and make big moves, this person is going to be the first person that's going to stab you in the back for no reason, tell your secrets. They're going to go and like talk about you behind your back. You just can't trust someone like that. So I think Angela, as much as we love her for giving us good feeds and good TV, I don't know if she's going to make it the second week, but she is just like overdoing everything.
Well, my impression of her, and this may be too simple, is that the second she isn't head of household, which is next week, she can't win head of household 2 weeks in a row, is she's gone. I don't think anybody wants to play with her because of the unpredictability and the fact that she just seems to be, I know that, her meltdown with Matt that was shown last night on the episode, you can watch it on, it's almost even way worse if you watched the feeds. and so many people put clips of it out there. It's just the negative energy about her, the unpredictability. I just think, I think she's gone. I think once we find out who wins HOH this week, obviously it's not going to be her. I just can't imagine a lot of people want to keep her around because she seems way too chaotic.
Way too chaotic. It's like you can't play a Big Brother game week 1 like this.
Yeah.
We've seen for the first, the past 4 seasons. So Frenchie, first HOH went right home afterwards. Then we saw Daniel Durston, first HOH went home right after. Meltdowns, going crazy. Same thing with Reilly last season. First HOH went home right after. So what we're seeing is this trend where winning first HOH, these people are letting the power go to their heads. They are being a little bit chaotic, and they are creating these narratives in the house, and these I don't know, they're just creating this for no reason, over gaming and creating these stories and they're putting people in these moods where they don't want to play with them. So I always say, win the first HOH. It's the best idea. It gives you so many advantages in this game because everyone's coming to you. Everyone wants to talk to you. Everyone wants to work with you. But you have to just listen to what they say and not cause problems. All you have to do is first HOH is sit back. It's just the game, they have designed it to where there's all these twists. There's all these competitions the first week. You don't need to cause extra drama. Are you there to win, or are you there to just make TV time? So I think that Angela, she's got to be going home next week.
I would think so. And if it's not next week, it's the week after, assuming she doesn't win HOH a third time. She's just, there's no way someone like her lasts. No. You can talk about Taylor Hale all you want. She wasn't chaotic in the house. I know everyone kept putting her up, but she wasn't acting like this. She was just the one being attacked, and people wanted her gone, but not for the reasons that we're seeing. I think people are going to want Angela gone. Totally different. I think Angela's the second Angela's up, she's gone. Yeah, 100%. But I want to go back to this fight because I'm still racking my brain trying to understand this Matt fight. I don't get. She used the word, "Are you threatening me?" And I guess in a sense, if you define the word threaten, I guess part of it is a threat, but not like a threat like I'm going to physically harm you or anything like that. He's basically just saying, oh yeah, you know what? If you do put me up, I'm just going to play the game and I'll come right after you. But she took that so personally and oh my gosh, this front to her. And then the meltdown again. It could just be, look, I've never played in that house before. I don't understand it. Obviously, we know there's a lot of lack of sleep. Maybe that is getting to her. But do you understand her reaction to Matt? Because it seems to me like it's a complete overreaction.
No, like I said, I think she's literally trying to play to camera. She wants people to talk about her. She wants to get called for another season. She's playing to make television, which is very bad so we love a raw, real player. We love people I'm a crier. People love me because I cry for no reason. But I feel when I cry, it's real. It's not like I'm crying to try to get a TV moment. I'm not hiding in the bushes because I want to be on TV. I was hiding in the bushes because I didn't want to be on camera crying. So, these things are I think when you're pandering to the camera like that's what she's doing. I think her overreaction was, yes, he did threaten her, but he was right. She came after him saying that he's going to be in a showmance. And then she was planting seeds in the house almost to try to go after Matt. Then in the HOH room, he's if you put me up, I'm just going to win. I'll come down. That's what you have to say. If you already know someone's going to come for you, you have to be fine, do what you got to do. But I'm going to pull myself off that block and I'm going to win a veto, or I'm going to win an HOH and I'm going to come after you. So in a way, he was threatening her. I don't think she's used to having someone even say something like that to her at all. And I think her overreaction was she called the house meeting because she wanted people to know, Matt can't do this to me. I'm HOH, let the power go to her head. But then she started, And that if she stopped at that, it would have been fine. But then she started fighting with Joseph and MJ and bringing in all these other problems and going to Lisa and having this like topsy-turvy relationship there. And she's just doing too much. It's just like, I think she's just trying to get like as much TV time as she can, which I don't think you go on Dr. Phil if you don't want to be on camera, right? So
yeah. You brought something up. Is Mackenzie going by MJ? Is that who MJ is?
yes, Mackenzie is MJ. That's the word on the feeds.
Okay, they call her MJ. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, they call her MJ.
Now, here's something, and I'm trying to think of which order I should go in with this. Let's do this. Let's talk about Mackenzie a little bit and Quinn, because they were the ones in the first episode, the first two episodes, the premiere episodes, that won upgrades. And Mackenzie's upgrade is pretty easy to understand. America's veto, we get it. However, Quinn's upgrade, I'm so confused on this. I'm so confused on how people won't easily figure out it's not it. So what I did was I went back and I looked at the footage and I wrote down everything that BBAI told Quinn when he put his hand on the machine and got his upgrade. So this is what the machine tells him. You've won deepfake HOH. With this upgrade, you will strip the head of household of all their power because you will secretly control their nominations. But here's the fun part. I will create a deepfake avatar of the reigning head of household that will communicate through my proto box. This deepfake will look and sound like the real HOH, but it will be you that controls what it says. Okay. I guess maybe there's stuff coming that is going to be explained later, but just by that, saying that they're going to create a deepfake that will look and sound like the real HOH, everyone's going to know who won HO. I'm so confused by this upgrade. And like I said, maybe there is more instructions coming later, but to your best knowledge, can you explain this?
Okay, so this is what it sounds like to me. First of all, Protobox, coolest thing in Big Brother that they've done. I'm obsessed with it. I'm guessing the HOH wins HOH, makes their nominations, does the thing. Quinn says, I'm going to have to change that. So Quinn goes to the diary room, uses the power, however that works. I don't know if they ask Quinn if he's going to use the power. I don't really understand that part. But then I'm guessing the HOH. So in the HOH room, there's like a door. So I'm guessing they open that room and they probably have, so the Protobox, it's a 360 hologram, right? So like it's going to project a holographic image. And so I'm guessing the HOH is going to have to go into that room. They're going to film the HOH saying, I have made a decision, house guests or whatever. Like, I'm going to actually, my nominations have changed. I'm now nominating so-and-so and so-and-so. Or it could even happen before nominations, because maybe Quinn has to use the deep fake before nominations are even called. So then at that point, the nominations would go into the proto box. But that you're 100% right. The house is going to know that these are like, why are you not just standing in front of us pulling
exactly
the keys?
That's my thing. The standing in front of them.
They're going to know someone is controlling the HOH, but maybe they won't know all the details. You know what I mean?
Whoever is the HOH that week, which, they'll win some sort of comp. Everyone will know who it is.
Right.
Assuming they have to stand in front of the group and nominate their 3 people. And then those noms are going to change all of a sudden because the AI, the BBAI tells them they do. And people are going to be like, go to the real HOH and be like, why did you change? What was the point of this? And they're going to say like, I have no idea. I didn't do this. So it's like,
right.
I guess they're all going to know it's a twist, but I guess they won't know who did it other than if Angela is still in the game, we know that Quinn has already told her he has the upgrade. So
the upgrade. So then they'll know it's Quinn. Because
if Angela runs her mouth, they'll know it's Quinn.
She will. She's trying to get this. She's trying to make these like big game moves and whatever, do this like craziness. Unless
she's gone by the time he uses it.
Right. Unless she's gone, or unless this next HOH, whoever wins, puts Angela up and Angela goes to Quinn and says, I'm going to tell unless you use this deep fake on me. Yeah. Then Quinn can be like, okay, I will use it on. I don't know. It could
He shouldn't have
benefit
told
Angela.
her. He shouldn't have told
No,
her.
he shouldn't have told her. But I think that he at that time didn't know how like chaotic and erratic she was. I think he just thought she was like a,
Yeah.
she's HOH and she's a mom and she's this, sweet lady who is going to be a great person to work with and good for my game. And I can build trust. But Quinn is also, other people know about Quinn's upgrade. They don't know what it is, but they know that Quinn has the upgrade because he has been talking about it. So at this point, I think if the deep fake HOH happens, people will know it's from Quinn, right? So
yeah,
I think, but I hope it does happen because I do want to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I got to believe it's going to be used. He's only got 4 episodes to use it, and the first 4 eliminations to use it. Here's my prediction, and I could be way off on this, but here's my prediction in terms of the twists that we've been given this season of 3 nominations. Tonight, we're going to see, since we know that Lisa replaced herself and Angela renominated Matt. So Chemo, Kenny, and Matt are competing tonight, and then we're going to find out whoever wins this competition is going to be saved. The other 2 are going to be up for eviction. Here's my thing. I could be way off on this. I think 3 nominations is only lasting a few episodes. They made it seem like it was going the whole season. Maybe they didn't say like this is going to be the deal for the whole season, but I can't imagine being down to 5 people and having 3 nominations. Like, I think this is only an early season thing. What do you think?
I agree. I think it'll be like a first 4 episodes kind of thing. The BB Arena. This is also the thing. I think it was because production is like, you can tell that they're really doing a lot this season to make it enjoyable and to get us to talk about it. The games producers have been so fun. We've never seen these games, like the upgrade games. They're very new for the franchise. They're a lot of fun. There's something to give us more visual and also make the episode more exciting. So I think the BB Arena is, again, it's another competition because we love competitions on this show. We love to watch who's going to win, how people can save themselves. So I think that this BB Arena is another reason for them to fill that block with like a competition to give it like, I don't know, 5 minutes more of stuff that we can talk about. So I think that depending how the season goes, they'll only do it for like 4 weeks or maybe like 6 weeks if they need to. But these house guests are giving us a lot. We don't even need 10 competitions a week. Like they're giving us a lot of like just random drama. So I think that the strategy part of the show could really take a forefront in this season. But I think that they have these extra competitions just in case they need to have extra whatevers. And I'm guessing that Matt's going to win the arena. And I'm guessing that it's going to be Chemo versus Kenny for the final. Like, I think that Kenny's going to go home tonight because, I mean, he's not really fighting for himself. He's just kind of like almost given up on the feeds. He is acting like he doesn't really care. Whereas Chemo is like building relationships. He's not saying a lot, but what he is saying is like, I could be good for your game. I'm going to be your friend. I'm going to be there for you. And whereas Kenny is just kind of like, I don't even care. Like Kenny is just kind of given up. So I'm guessing we're going to see Kenny go home tonight. But expect the unexpected.
Yeah, and we don't know. I mean, it could be, the comp could be something along the lines of what that first HOH challenge was, which had nothing to do with strength or balance or anything like that. It was just, hey, basically slide this thing across a board and see if you get the most points. So we really have no idea. Now, I guess my question to you is, do you like the 3 noms? Do you like this being a thing, at least for a few episodes? I
don't hate it. Like, honestly, for me, I think it does make the game a little more interesting. I think we saw like season 15 and 16, we had 3 noms and it was like a little more interesting. And it was like America got to influence the noms. And then like they've had 3 noms before and it does make it more interesting. Sometimes though, which is probably what's going to happen on every season that we're going to watch when they do 3 noms, you have one person that gets no votes because it's like, nobody's even thinking about voting for them. You have one person that gets like 1 or 2 votes, and then the other person is like the House votes, or it's just like the House votes for one person and it's obvious that this person is going to go home. So I think that it's interesting with 3 noms and a competition, because the competition can determine the final 2 noms. So the House can't just vote as a House, because the final competition is at eviction. So it's not like, because usually we in the Big Brother game, after the veto ceremony, you already know who you're voting for. So like the veto ceremony happens on Monday. By Tuesday, everybody knows exactly who they're voting for. We've already discussed it all day Monday, all night Monday. There's very little change that happens on Tuesday or Wednesday. And by Thursday, like, it's solidified. So this competition makes it a little more interesting, because there's a chance that everyone says, I'm voting out Matt, I'm voting out Matt. Matt wins the competition. Matt comes off. Now the House is like, who do we vote out? I don't know what to do. So that is more interesting. So I do enjoy that.
So my guess is this is the way it's going to work now with the people in the House. And maybe they're already talking about this on the live feeds. They know that Matt, so it happened in real time. It happened on Monday, where Lisa took herself down. So Monday. Yeah. So Monday happens. They know that Matt, Chemo, and Kenny are the 3 that are going up, and they have to compete, and one of them is going to save themselves. My guess now is, instead of in past seasons we had 2 after Monday and everybody knew, like you just said, my guess now is they say, okay, if Matt wins and takes himself off, we're voting Chemo or Kenny. Right. If Kenny wins between Matt, it seems like it's just going to be that. At least that's the way I would think it would go, because you can't wait until we find out who wins, because it's like you said, it's happening on eviction night, and it's just going to be minutes, I guess, before. We don't really know how much time is going to pass, but that's a live show, so it's not going to be too much time. So my guess is now the discussion is, okay, if Chemo wins and the final 2 up for eviction are Matt and Kenny, here's the route we're going. Because we know, at least in recent seasons, it seems like the first 4 or 5, maybe even 6 evictions are pretty much all unanimous. Maybe the person evicted gets 1 vote because they have a buddy in the house. But it all seems like, because nobody wants to rock the house and be like, wait a second, no, I'll just go with the house. So it seems like that's going to be the discussion. Has that been happening on the live feeds, that they have said like, okay, we know the 3. If Matt wins between Chemo and Kenny, here's where we're going. Has that been happening or no? Not yet. That
has been happening on the feeds. They've been saying between Chemo and Kenny, they're voting out Kenny. Okay. Some people have been saying like, I mean, I don't really care if Chemo goes home. So they do kind of leave it up in the air, but they're also the ones that are saying that are like, what are you going to do? I'll vote with you. So it is the vote with the house mentality. Then the conversation is really been between Matt versus Kenny. Do we get rid of Matt? If we can get rid of Matt right now, because Matt's a strong player, Matt's a guy. Like, when they're whispering, the conversation is like, shouldn't we just get rid of Matt? And that is what's happening. However, because I think people are a little bit scared, because they know this AI arena is going to happen. They think Matt could possibly win. I think people are a little scared to just come forth and say like, Matt's going home. That's it, period. And another reason why I like all of this with the competition and the 3 nominees is because you also see on Big Brother seasons where it's like on Tuesday or whatever day of the week, but right before eviction, people are just like, you're going home. I don't care. I don't have to talk to you. And you like, see you later. You made your bed. So people are just like, they are already knowing they're safe. But now there's a chance where it's like, well, you don't know. Like, there is a chance that this person could still stay in the game. So you do kind of have to play a little bit differently. And so I do like that. I like that they incorporated that especially with this arena thing. I think it'll be interesting. Plus, it gives them another way to win safety without a HOH or a veto. Now they have three chances to win. If you don't win for 3 chances and you can't talk your way off the block, like, sorry, you just need to go home.
basically from Monday to Thursday, you can't just sit here and ignore somebody knowing that they're going home on Thursday, because they could save themselves on Thursday. Yeah. I guess my question is, you mentioned this has happened 3 noms in seasons 15 and 16. How did it work back then? Not like this, right? Where one of them could save themselves, or no?
In 15, because Alyssa kept winning America's MVP or something, where she would vote someone up. And I think it was like, I can't remember how they did that one. But then on the 16, see, this is a problem. I don't remember. I feel like I need to like go back and Google it or look it up. But I think that when they've done the 3 noms before, it was always like a very obvious everyone who was going home. And it was never like a discussion of the other person. There was never even like a talk. It was just like the third person was like a super pawn, right? It was just like, there's no reason for them to be up there. They were just like on the block, and it was either this person or this person.
And it was only a few episode thing. This wasn't a whole season thing of 3 noms.
They've never done it for a whole season. No, because you can't. Okay. I mean, like you said, like you can't come down to final 5 and be like, hey, now there's
3 noms,
and 2 people are voting, and it's like, what? So yeah, they always usually start, and they also, they stop a lot of these crazy twists at jury. So once it comes to jury, a lot of the crazy twists just kind of stop anyways, I think, to make it more of a like even game kind of.
So I think one thing about this season in the first week and just kind of getting everything going for me, like I said, I don't watch the live feeds, but I will go on my For You page. There's, clips that are posted all the time that when I come across it, I can't not watch it. I'm like, oh, what are these 2 talking about? And I'll read some of the Twitter accounts that recap what's happening on the live feeds. But I've dabbled in it here and there. So I've heard about things, but you're way more dialed into what's going on in the live feeds than I am. I'm hearing that there's a Matt, MJ, Leah alliance. What is the main alliance happening right now, at least in the first week? Not that it really matters, because
that's a great question. So there is the collective. So there's this collective, and it's like half of the house. I'm trying to find the exact names of all these alliances, but I can't find that. I don't have a picture of it. But so there's this like half of the house alliance. It's called the collective. Then there's like this trios alliance, and then I think that's like Chelsea, Cedric, and someone else. And then there's like the Leah, MJ, Matt alliance. And then there's a Lisa alliance with Leah. Leah and Lisa have a final 2. And then Angela's in like a bunch of alliances, but then she got kicked out of a bunch of alliances. And then there's like some bros alliance. And the bros alliance is like Cam and Tucker and
all the beefy guys.
Joseph. Yeah, the workout bros.
The workout boys, yeah.
Yeah, the workout bros. And then there's also like, I think Cam is in alliance with Chelsea. So, and Cedric and Chelsea have like a final 2. So I think there's just like, the Have-Nots just made an alliance last night. So I think that's Quinn, Cam. There's 2 other people in that alliance, whoever the Have-Nots are. So there's a lot of like side alliances, but I think what's like the majority of the house is kind of all under the idea that they could get rid of Matt. They're all up for it. They're all like saying, is this like the best idea? And if they can get rid of Matt, I think that's kind of what the girls are talking about. So Mackenzie, MJ, is like, she is happy, but she's also like, I don't want to be grouped with Matt. Like, we're not in a showmance. They haven't like solidified anything. So I think she likes him, and like it's very obvious that the 2 of them get along and they're working together, but she doesn't want to like just go, like she doesn't want to go out of her way for him week 1. So I think that's kind of going on there. The girls are kind of all saying like, shouldn't we just kind of if we can get rid of him, shouldn't we just kind of get rid of him? And that's a very fair argument, because he is a big guy, and like if there's a physical competition, he could win. The guys are not leaning toward that way. I think a lot of the guys are like just kind of like, let's lead toward Kenny. And then Kenny is like throwing himself under the bus. He's just like falling on the sword. He's like, whatever, I don't care. I did my thing. I came into the house. He got in a fight with Angela. Angela was like, you're not going to fight for your right to be here. Then you don't deserve to be here. And he's like, I am fighting. I'm doing what I can do. But he's like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to like argue with everyone to keep me if nobody wants to keep me. So he's making good points. Angela's kind of like yelling at him, going off on him. He should fight. He should probably fight more for being in the house. But again, I understand his point of view. He's like, if they're going to vote me out, there's nothing I can do. Like, people are just gonna like keep lying to my face, so I might as well have fun and get to know people and enjoy the experience while I can. Which makes totally a lot of sense. Then there's Cam is like, okay, I'm not gonna really tell you why you should like. Cam is like, sorry, not Cam. Chemo is like, you should definitely keep me, but I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I'll do for you, but like I will work with you, kind of thing. So Chemo's not like necessarily making a ton of alliances right now, but he's definitely like doing the work. He's telling people why he wants to be here, why it's important to him, what he can do to be in their game and work for them. It's kind of up in the air. It depends. If Matt wins, then Kenny's definitely going to go. But you never know.
Yeah, I think the weird thing is, week one, you're just getting to know everybody.
Exactly.
And I don't even know if I even understand Angela's noms. Like, I don't know why she put up Lisa, Chemo, and Kenny. I know she said, like, she talked gameplay with them the least amount, and maybe that was a legit reason. But when she literally was upset with Matt in that room during her
she could have put Matt up.
On. Why did she put him up, like, in the first set of noms,
I think she got intimidated by him. And I think she was like, oh crap, he's right. I don't want to have him on my bad side. So I think she did get a little bit intimidated by him. And then I think Kenny, views Kenny as like an easy person to put up, but also like he was the final other person with her in that competition. So she probably does feel a little bit like, if he's going to go head to head with me, I want to be the one that's going to win. I don't understand her Chemo nomination unless it was just legitimately he didn't talk to her. He's not really going out of his way to talk a lot of game to people. He seems like he's more of a listener right now, which is also, it's smart. I'm not calling him a floater. We haven't determined who the floaters are yet, but he's kind of like, he's listening, he's in the rooms, he's telling stories, he's trying to build relationships with people in a different way than just constantly gaming. And then Lisa, I also think she said Lisa was the last person. Lisa even said to her in a conversation, I was the last person you talked to. Why didn't you give me that same like respect that you gave everyone else? And she's like, I was tired. I was lack of sleep, making excuses. But that probably is actually just what happened. Probably had nothing more to do than just the fact that she was the last person in there. She probably had already talked to everyone, made all these like side deals, and Lisa wasn't part of the collective side. Like, I don't think Lisa's in that 9-person alliance. So it's just like, okay, well, if this is the 9-person alliance, I don't want to piss them off. If this, I've got to do something else. Yeah.
Now, I know we're early. We're only a week into filming, but you've watched a lot of the live feeds. You've seen these people interact. Do you have early season favorites in terms of who you like and who you think is playing a good game a weekend? And then the flip side, who do you think is just not a good player or probably isn't lasting long in the game? Who are your early favorites and early eliminations, even though we have no idea who's going to win?
I love Lisa because for a few reasons. One, she's a Rachel fan. So that's obvious. Lisa did her work. When she was nominated, she went around and took every single house guest. Like, she literally pulled every house guest aside and said to them, this is what I can do for your game. This is why you should work with me. Don't vote me out this week. She did the work. Then she went out and won that veto. So like, we saw her talking to every person. So she's strategizing, playing the game. Then she goes out and wins the veto. So she's like really putting in the work. She's also like very pro female alliance, very pro female winner. I love that. I think the girls are strong this season. And I think that Lisa is like really doing what she needs to do. She's maybe doing a little bit too much because she is like taking on that role of everyone's coming to her to talk to her, and she's telling them how they should be playing the game. So she's maybe going to get in trouble, but she's one of my standouts. I like Leah. I like, I really like that little Cedric. I didn't know what to think of him because
that
he's
little
21. Yeah. And he's so cute and fun and like has a ton of energy. And he just is like, I don't know. He just is like fun. I I really like them all. Genuinely, I think they did a great job of casting this season. I like that the house guests are very raw and they're very open to talking. They're very open to saying their feelings and how they feel and how a certain person's making them feel, which I think is interesting because we never see that. That's one reason why the feeds are so chaotic. Like Rubina yesterday called out Leah on the feeds Leah was like, said something like poking fun at her. And she's like, I don't think that was okay because you were poking fun at me. And she's like, that's just how I relate to people. She's like, that's fine in like a different situation, but not in this game. So I like that they are coming out and saying things to each other like that. Like they're actually like not scared to tell each other how the respect that they want or how to treat each other. But I do think Angela is just a little bit, she's chaotic. It's great for TV. It's great drama. I love it. Like, don't get me wrong. I love it. But I think she's trying to win an award. And that annoys me because I'm like, I want her to be real. Don't be fake, you know?
We've been talking for, I think, about 45 minutes here already. And obviously we're not going to cover everybody because everybody is still in the game at this point. But one name that hasn't been brought up, I don't think once, of all the things that you've talking about with alliances, and maybe I missed it, but one name that hasn't been brought up once by you is Brooklyn. Yeah. And here's and not that you were excluding her for any reason. I'm just saying like, wow, Brooklyn's name hasn't been brought up. I have no idea. How is she doing on the feeds? Are people seeming to like her? You can probably relate to her. She's a mother. I think she's got 3 kids. How is she coming across?
Interesting because I have the feeds running. I work from home.
Yeah.
I have the feeds running most of the day and I barely see her in any of these conversations. I barely see her in the rooms. Like Quinn is in a ton of conversations. Quinn is always like telling stories or, talking game. Tucker's been in a ton of conversations on the feeds, telling stories, talking game. Telling Angela to act like she's going to put him up as a renom. So Tucker's up in it. Brooklyn has not really been up in the drama. Neither has Rubina. But yesterday there was just that moment with Leah and Rubina that was interesting. But they're just the girls. A lot of the girls are just kind of hanging out. K-Tour, same thing. Hasn't really been up in the drama. She's kind of like hanging out, like just kind of she's definitely listening. So she's another one that people go to listen and talk, but she listens and she doesn't really seem to have a lot of things to say except I hear you. And so I think she'll probably go really far.
Yeah. I mean, I just,
but Brooklyn hasn't, like, she's not really doing much. Are you a Brooklyn fan? Because she's from Texas.
No, I just hadn't heard her name, and I was just like, I wonder what's going on, because like I said, and even as I said, my For You page and any clips I see on TikTok, they never seem to have Brooklyn in them. Like you said, she seems to just kind of be a ghost there.
She is, yeah.
You're watching the feeds all day, and you can't even remember anything that she's been involved in. Every time I see a clip on TikTok, I don't see her anywhere. So that's why I was like, hey, how is she doing? Am I missing something? But apparently not. Apparently she's just there.
She's
just a
there,
wallflower at this point.
She's not really talking. I don't really see her a lot doing a lot. But I know it's funny because I know she's friends with Kat too. Kat Dunn.
Yeah, I saw that on Kat's preview. She knows her
Kat,
through
told her to chill and to kind of take it easy the first few weeks.
Told her that she told Brooklyn, don't play like I did.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just told her to take it easy, just chill out the first few weeks, and you'll make it. Once you make it to the jury, then you can start to play more. I don't know. Yeah. Brooklyn does kind of strike me as someone that is kind of just trying to chill out. She's not even really in the episodes a lot either, because she's not really just not involved, just tanning,
not seeing her in any. I don't think she's had a confessional yet in 3 episodes, maybe one, really small. But yeah, it's still the first week. We know so many alliances that are put together early end up failing. So there's so much more of the summer left. We still got probably 83, 82 days by the time this airs. Yeah, something along those lines. There's going to be so many twists and turns that we don't even know about yet. So it is it is early to get in on all this stuff, but obviously you've lived it, and it just seems like it's been a crazy week. And watching Angela's meltdown last night on Matt, and even watching it beforehand, on the live feeds when people were posting it, it's just like, my gosh, this just seems way too chaotic for literally just days into the house.
I was like, I think this was Saturday morning or something. I literally was like, I can't remember. I think I was at the gym on the treadmill, and I was just turning on the feeds because I was like, oh, I'll just like listen to the feeds, whatever. And like these house guests, it was 9 a.m. for them. They haven't even had coffee yet. And she's like, yelling at them. That was one thing. Brooklyn was, it was funny because Brooklyn was like in a towel coming out of the shower. Like she was just like, what is going on? So there's your Brooklyn moment.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because they were like literally just woke up. She came down from the HOH room and like just started going off for no reason. It was like nothing started it. They weren't talking about it. She just woke up with a mission.
Yeah, and like we said, it's so early on, and maybe Matt completely rubbed her the wrong way, and she doesn't like him, and she thinks he's scheming, and she didn't like whatever he said to her in the room. It's not like they were 30, 40, 50 days into this thing, and it's been a constant, my gosh, this guy's getting on my nerves. It's only been a few days at that point. There's no way you could be that upset at somebody after a few days. And
that's why I think she's like playing up for the camera. And really, I think she's playing this up for the camera to try to get on another season or another show, because she's doing so much that it's like, and I've been on so many of these shows that I feel like I can tell when someone is being, and also, I work in casting. So you can tell when someone is like saying something just to like have that quote or have that like diary room quip, and they know it's going to make the show. And then you can tell when someone is like having a legitimate breakdown and like having a legitimate moment. So I think that was her intention, was just to kind of like start some drama.
Well, this is a perfect segue into, that was some great Big Brother talk. Thank you. I want to segue into your role in working in casting, because I saw that you posted the other day. Those in the Bachelor world are very well aware, maybe you're not aware, that the Golden Bachelor was nominated for an Emmy. And so you were involved in the casting for Golden Bachelor. Are you allowed to share like some of the women that I don't know necessarily that you put through, or can you say women that you interviewed and maybe you suggested, like, I really think we should put her on? Like, how much can you share of that?
So I work with the guys. So I worked on the guy side. So I interviewed a ton. So
you were casting for the role of Gary. You were.
Yeah, we found Gary. I was the first person to talk to Gary. So so he did apply. So but I called him up, and I was the first person to talk to him. He didn't want to do the show. We talked for 45 minutes. I told him, I met my husband on reality TV. You never know what's going to happen. I really, really liked him. So I helped with that whole process in the very beginning. But I will say, like, the guys, we had so many great guys that we interviewed, so many amazing people. I also just did Joan's season, and I talked to all these guys. I'm really excited. I think that a lot of the guys for Joan are going to be really good. Like, I think it's going to be a fun franchise to keep following, because I think it's going to just keep getting better.
Yeah, unfortunately, obviously, we can't talk about Joan's season because they haven't even released the cast of the men yet, which I don't think they're going to release until her season is done filming. Yeah. And, they didn't release any of Gary's women until I think the day after they had wrapped filming. And, I've been spoiling Joan's season up to this point. She's down to her final 3. I know that. I spoiled the final 4. So she's down to her final 3 right now. I know
nothing.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering. I mean, you know what? When we get off air, I'll tell, if you want to know, I can tell you the 4, and you can tell me like if you spoke to them. But yeah, I mean, we're probably not going to get that until her filming wraps. But down to final 3, she's probably about 7 to 10 days before filming is over. So we'll see. So that's great. That's so cool.
And I love Joan, and I'm so excited for this season. And I think I think Joan will pick up forever. I was really disappointed that Gary and Teresa didn't work out. I really I would have never in a million years predicted that. And I don't know what happened there, but I would have thought that they would have been together. And I think that it kind of like did a disservice to the franchise because he was the first Golden Bachelor and like everyone was rooting for them. And I just felt like it was just so unfortunate that happened.
Well, and obviously the other thing is happened so quickly after a nationally televised wedding. I mean, you lasted 2 months and it just seems like there was a giant miscommunication there. These two didn't talk things through, it sounded like, because you don't get married in January and get divorced in March unless you just clearly did not talk about certain things, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and I don't even know. I wouldn't even say that, like, how were they so caught up in the moment that they were just like, oh, we're just caught up in the moment of love and still in this whatever, where we're just, okay, let's go straight from the show to get married to do this. Because the show wrapped filming months before they got married on national TV. Yeah. So it wasn't like they didn't have months to kind of prepare for it. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but I was really disappointed. I think Joan, though, I think she'll be forever. I don't think she'll like find someone and just get a divorce in 3 months.
Kind of like the regular franchise. The Bachelor franchise just has a horrible success rate, but the Bachelorettes, because I just think the women who go on the show as the lead, I think the women just take it more seriously. They're not looking like, we know the bachelors on this show are kind of just more interested in, hey, if it doesn't work out with this woman, plenty of other women that watch the show. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Like I can get so many women are now interested in me because I was the Bachelor. I don't think women go in with that mentality. They're not looking to be like, oh, I can be the Bachelorette and just be this total player and sleep around with everybody. Whereas the guys absolutely think that. I mean,
but would you think that of a 71-year-old man with grandkids?
Well, no. For him, no. That's why I'm just like, it was a communication thing with him.
It was just
wasn't
like
talked about.
Right. And I don't know if it was like a bad choice at the end or what, but like it was just something happened and it was really unfortunate because I would have never predicted the ending to their relationship.
So quick after a wedding.
So quick. Like, I mean, I thought they were gonna be forever too. I would have never known. I was like so lost in their love story, especially because I had talked to him from the very jump, you know what I mean? And from the very jump, it was just like the love story that you want to root for. So I'm really excited about Joan because I think we can root for her and it will like not break our hearts.
I think the hopeless romantic in you, Rachel, is, that's what it is. You're a hopeless romantic and that's great. I just it's going to affect the way you see these relationships, still knowing it is reality TV. And because you are somebody who met their husband on a reality TV show, you know it is possible, but you also have to understand you're more the exception than the rule. I mean, it just,
true. I know.
We know this. You lucked out. You lucked out with a great husband and a great family, you know? But I wanted to end with this. Something that I saw on your Instagram is, what is the happening in 2025 with the Cruise of Deception? Are you a part of this, or are you on it, or explain to this what it is and what people who are interested want to become involved in this.
Yeah, so the Cruise of Deception is so epic. It's a $50,000 cash prize cruise. We're playing a live action game of traders. It is going to be the most epic cruise you could have ever possibly go on. You're going to play. I'm a host. Janelle is a host. Trishelle is a host. Stephanie, Pilot Pete, and apparently Pilot Pete is bringing a surprise for us. So that's something to look forward to. Sandra is a host. So all of these celebrity traders people are hosts on the cruise. We're going to have our own teams. So we're acting like the Alan Cumming on the cruise. The competitions are going to be super fun. They're going to be like escape rooms and they're all inclusive. So it's not something that someone couldn't do or that you wouldn't want to do. Some of them will be like a treasure hunt on one of the islands, and there might be like a competition like zip lining or something on the ship. So the ship is beautiful. It's a Royal Caribbean. We're going to the Royal Caribbean private island. We're going to Jamaica. We're going to Haiti. It's going to be like the dream cruise. But then there's also this like traders game full live action game that we're playing. Each team has 100 players. So you can, and then there's also twists. You can get back in the game, but someone is winning $50,000. So it could be a trader or it could be a faithful. Or maybe it could be one faithful. We don't know, a group of faithfuls, a group of traders, but someone's going to win 50 grand and play this game. It's so much fun. We are going on it. It's not filmed, so anyone can participate, buy a ticket to go on the cruise. But I feel like it should be filmed. It sounds like a reality show.
Yeah, I mean, that was my next question. Is this going to be filmed? Can we watch this?
It's not. But if you've ever wanted to be on a reality show, this is like the best way to get on one and win real money.
And so how does someone sign up for this? Do they go to cruiseofdeception.com or do they go to cruiseofdeception.com. A bunch of traders season 1 contestants are also going. They're going to be like helping out with the games, and their job is going to be to like help the players kind of like navigate the game. So you might have like Amanda or Michael on your team as well, kind of like moving the game forward and helping you and helping the faithfuls and helping the traders. Everyone, once we get to, there's a round table. So like you're going to be voting out your players. The game it's really fun. It's going to be a really epic like time. Does it what's the cost of someone to sign up? Is it anybody that signs up can play, or you have to go through some sort of interview process to be on?
No, anyone that signs up. So you just book a room on the cruise.
Okay.
I think the room prices start at like $1,500. It's not like expensive at all. And it's a 2-person cabin. I think that the junior suites are all sold out. So we definitely have interior staterooms that are still available. Some of the bigger suites are still available. My team is almost sold out. So if you want to be on Team Rachel, go book it because it's almost sold out. Team Janelle is almost sold out. Bergie's team is like, I think 80% sold out. Stephanie's team. So we have like the celebrity teams are getting sold out very quickly. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And like Trishelle's playing. I mean, it's just going to be playing a reality show with your favorite reality contestants for actual money, which is crazy. I don't think anyone's ever done anything like this.
This is really cool. I mean, it's a great idea. I'm glad I looked on your Instagram to see that. And
it's really, really exciting.
And, I wanted to end with that, but now that you brought it up, Traders season 3, obviously it's in the books. We don't know anything about it. Maybe spoilers. I don't want to know what happens.
I do.
You do know what happens. You know who wins and all that?
I don't know who wins, but I do know a lot of spoilers. Probably more than I should know.
Okay. I don't want to know, and I don't want you to share on this podcast. But based on what you've heard, are we in for, is this sounding already better than season 1, season 2? What are you thinking?
I think it sounds like it's going to be a really fun season, and it's going to be a lot of craziness. So I think it's going to be just as good as season 1 and season 2. So far, I think season 2 was better personally than season 1, even though I was on season 1. Yeah. But I think season 3 is going to be also, people will be talking about it. It's going to be hard to outdo Phaedra. I don't know. Like, can anyone do that? But like, we'll see what happens. It sounds like season 3 is going to be crazy.
I think season 2 was better than season 1, just for the sole fact that, nothing against the regular people that you played against in season 1, but I think people just like the cast, that the whole cast is reality TV people and or athletes and celebrities and stuff like that. Again, nothing against the 10 people that were on your season that you played against, but when the audience doesn't have a connection to any of them, it's just hard, especially 100%. Once we saw season 2 play out. It's just like, we know all these people. I thought the Trishelle CT friendship that lasted, going back years, just to see them team up at the end. It was a really cool ending. I love the way that ended. Trishelle has always been a favorite of mine from this franchise. So it was good to see her back on and win. So, I mean, just excited about season 3. When, and I'm blanking now, was it January or when did your season drop? The first 2 seasons, what month?
My season dropped in January. Then in the beginning of January, season 2 dropped in like the middle of January. I think they announced it'll be a January. Same thing. But I don't think they announced a date yet, but they did say like January 2025.
Okay. So it is coming in January again. Okay. Yeah. And your season, didn't they drop the whole season at once? And then season 2, it was like, we'll give you
like 4 episodes.
Opening 4. And then it was
like weekly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm assuming.
And I
they're gonna
like
do
that
again.
model better just because I wanted to be able to like digest it. Like for me, it was so fun to binge watch season 1, but it was like a lot. It was just so much all at once. And everyone was just like, people were spoiling the winner because they were ahead, and it was just like a lot, which was a good marketing move for the first season. But season 2, I liked that it was like gradual and that we had to wait to find out who the winners were.
And it lets them build more shows in of like after traders or whatever, the after show, because you're only giving, after those initial 4 episodes, you're only doing 1 episode a week. So it gives people a week to just have more water cooler conversation about your show. So it makes sense.
I agree.
To do it that way. So anyway, Rachel, you're the best to have on. I love having you on. I can't wait to discuss more Big Brother as the season goes on, because I'm sure we're headed for a summer of absolute craziness here.
Crazy. Yeah.
So, again,
I can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you again for coming on. Really appreciate it. And obviously we'll be in touch.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.